Well, how you doing, everybody? Today we are taking a quick look at Predator Badlands, written by Patrick Asen, directed by Daniel Trachtenberg, and starring Demetrius Schuster-koloamatangi. I hope that was at least close. And, ooh, this is also a difficult one. Elle Fanning. A young Yautja runt named Deck has been trying and failing to earn the approval of his asshole father, who is also the leader of his clan. To prove himself, he has vowed to hunt down a seemingly invincible creature called the Kalisk, which even his father won't mess with. Upon reaching the Kalisk's homeworld, he discovers he has a lot more to contend with than just that one creature, including a bunch of Weyland-Yutani synths, because yes, Alien and Predator are still in the same universe. I wasn't sure what to expect from this, although it did come from the same writer and director of Prey, which I very much enjoyed. It still amazes me how long it took them to realize all they have to do to keep the Predator franchise fresh is put the Predator up against different types of people. And that's kinda what they do with Badlands, but with an interesting twist. This time around, the Yautja is actually the protagonist. And I do believe this is also the first time we actually hear the word Yautja on the big screen. The name of the Predator race has been established in other media, but I don't think it's ever been said in a movie until now. And in previous movies, the Yautja is usually this unstoppable killing machine. Not at all the case here. Deck is a very strong warrior, but even he has his work cut out for him on this planet, and he's barely surviving from the moment he touches down. Or really, before he touches down, because he does crash. And the Predator does meet a new type of people, sort of, in the synths, which are on the planet harvesting biological samples because the environment is way too harsh for humans. And Deck meets and reluctantly joins forces with a synth named Thea, played by Elle Fanning. Deck wants to hunt the Kalisk, she knows how to find the Kalisk, so he kinda has to take her along, and he has to carry her the whole way, as she previously encountered the Kalisk and it still has her legs. And she is a rare example of a synth that actually has emotions, and a very chipper personality. Maybe a little too chipper. They also meet and sort of adopt a creature on the planet named Bud, and Bud is, like many creatures on the planet, a bit scary, but also kind of adorable. He's scare-adorable. And Deck is annoyed by both of them, which is very funny. Fanning is pulling double duty in this movie as she also plays an identical synth named Tessa. Identical in appearance, but not so much in personality. This one has no emotions. It's a very sharp contrast between the two. You got the happy, optimistic Thea and the cold, robotic Tessa, and Fanning nails both of them. And I thought Schuster-koloamatangi did a pretty good job as Deck. It's largely a physical performance, as we never really see his face. It's buried under prosthetics and CGI, but he does a very good job with the role. And I thought they did a pretty good job of blending the practical effects with the CGI enhancements, although personally, I still think the Predator looks better with the mask. And I don't know about you, but I personally could have lived the rest of my life completely happy without ever seeing the Predator smile. That was so wrong. That just looks so wrong. And I get that that's kind of the point, but still, just why? The special effects look pretty good throughout the movie. There was never really a moment where I was like, well, that CGI is shit. I believe Weta Digital was involved, which would explain it. They did an especially good job with Thea, who spends most of the movie without legs. Or without a torso, depending on which half we're looking at. The action sequences are very well done. Deck is pretty much in constant danger from all the creatures and even the plant life on the planet, and there are some brutal fights, especially for a PG-13 movie. They may have had a little leeway from the MPA, as there technically aren't any human characters getting hurt. And I really like Deck's story throughout the movie. He starts out desperately trying to prove himself to his father, who is a right bastard. And as he spends time on this very dangerous planet, he starts to learn who he is and who he really wants to be. I had a lot of fun watching his journey. His very intense and very, very deadly journey. Overall, this was better than it had any right to be. I was not really sold on making the Predator the hero of the story, but it worked pretty well. So far, I'm enjoying what Trachtenberg and Asen are doing with this franchise, and I hope they get to keep doing it. And if you're a Predator fan, this is definitely worth your time. And that's all I got to say about Predator Badlands. Till next time, take care.